Here we are, Act 1 of Heresy. Did it open strong, or are the end times nigh? Well, I can say for certain that... this was a good start. That's right, Heresy dares to stand against the wave of negativity caused by both Bungie themselves and the community's reception of the game as a whole, something I am guilty of assisting in. There's a lot of good here in these first 24 hours, and a few minor and one major critique from me, but it's not what you might think it is. Let's start with the good and some of the stuff I noticed along the way. The act opens with us investigating Taken activity in the EDZ, directed by Drifter and Eris while they make their way to Saturn's orbit. During our journey to the source of the new Taken infestation, we encounter a new form of Taken, filled with dire energy. But that's not the most interesting part. They're new Taken. Not new in the sense that we've fought these named Taken before, they're super old, but rather they're newly formed, made from Red Legion, Modern Vex, House of Dusk, and more Hive. Don't believe me? Compare these two Taken Scion models. The one on the left of the regular D2 Scion model is based on the D1 Scion. The one on the right belongs to none other than the Red Legion Scion. Not only that, but these dire Taken have new abilities, some swapping their abilities around while others get new abilities altogether, like using Strand. This is great, a new way to spice up the gameplay loop and expand on the Taken's place in the Destiny universe. We fight a Taken Ogre and discover an anchor from the Dreadnought, trying to cause an inversion on Earth. We enter the anchor's portal and make our way through the Ascendant Plane, past more and more anchors. Eventually, we exit through another portal and arrive on the Dreadnought. We follow Eris and Drifter's beacon until we arrive at the Court of Oryx. Drifter and Eris fight against some Taken thralls until a subjugator appears and stabs Eris. Wait, what? Yeah, Eris dies. What a twist. There were some theories as to who would die based on the dialogue seen in the reveal stream, but now we know it was about Eris.
I sense a familiar presence. Fingertips on the surface. No. This is new. Something's wrong. We must find the Guardian.
Maybe we can make our way back, or...
Creature.
We kill a boss and secure a tablet of ruin before chasing after the subjugator. We find it and interrupt its ritual. The subjugator retreats and we officially confirm Eris' death. Drifter's VA for this whole chain of events absolutely nailed the delivery of lines. I'm a sucker for some good voice acting, but it's crazy to think how this is the same game as Lightfall.
Over. You and Rohan are our only hope.
We go to Eris' apartment in the last city and listen to a message she left for the people she called friends. We mourn in silence. That's the intro for Act 1. Absolute cinema. This was such a cultivating start, a real hook into a non-expansion based story. Excitement is being felt through the community for the first time in a long time. Too bad Eris isn't really dead. Yeah, that's a slight detail I left out. Right after Drifter cradles her corpse, we get a second cutscene where Eris appears in what can only be presumed as her throne world and laughs, and finally showing us what the eyes look like that she plucked off an acolyte's corpse oh so long ago. That would be my only critique of the opening of this episode. Simply don't show us this cutscene yet. Maybe wait till the end of the act or the beginning of Act 2 and then reveal she's alive, so then we can actually feel the impact of her death, rather than being told that we're mourning when we, the player, know that she's alive and well. Call it a nitpick, but I think it would certainly have made the stakes feel a bit more real, for now at least. The Nether is the new episode activity that came with Act 1, with the option to solo or team up to take it on. You explore the Dreadnought and fight the Dread, Hive, and Dire Taken to wrestle control away from the Dreadnought, which seems to be alive now, based on the tentacles and eyes. Gross. There is one major critique I have with this act, or rather this episode as a whole based on what we've been told, and that is the voice acting strikes. Not because of the strikes themselves, but rather the reception around them. Allow me, as an actor, to stand on my soapbox for a moment. The lines for both Sloane and Xivu Arath have not been, as far as we know, recorded with AI or have sound-alikes fill in for them. This would be due to the two VAs being union actors, which if you're thinking of going into the voice acting world, I would highly recommend now more than ever in joining a union. The reason some of Sloane and Xivu's dialogue is playable while the majority isn't is due to the majority being recorded after those strikes began, meaning they aren't authorized by contract to be used until the strikes are resolved. The ones that can be heard in-game currently were probably recorded before the strikes began, as voice acting is recorded very early on in the process of developing a game. The presumable reason Eris and Drifter's lines can be heard is their agency isn't being hit by the SAG, or SAG, the group behind the strikes. Let me be 110% clear, the strikes are a good thing. Protection, especially in today's world against AI and voice cloning, is a necessity. That goes for film and TV actors too, any actor for that matter. Pay them fairly and protect them against the machine some morons are trying to push to replace the art forms of both acting and writing. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox now. Thank you for listening. Anyways, next up for this episode is the dungeon Sunder Doctrine, where, and I'm quoting the description, reality itself is at stake. The lads and I will take a blind stab at it this coming week, and I'll have a highlights video out shortly after our first clear. Overall, this has been a strong start to the episode. I give it 5 big booms.
Oh, we're so sorry to hear about your brother that passed away. He gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Boom!
Until next time, I've been Fawn Umbrella 612, and I hope you have an amazing day. Stay frosty.